It's easy to get attached to our favorite TV show characters, so much so we can feel a true loss when they're written off, especially when the actors who portrayed them die in real life. Production comes with its fair share of complications, but the sudden death of actors is a tricky one to deal with. Often it leaves the writers scrambling to rewrite the show and recast, while also trying to preserve the memory and legacy of the actors who passed. In this video, we'll look at some instances in the 70s when actors died during the production of some of your favorite TV series. Frank Silvera from the High Chaparral. The High Chaparral was an American Western action-adventure drama that ran from 1967 to 71. Frank Silvera played the role of a Mexican squire named Don Sebastian Montoya. He unexpectedly died in 1970 after accidentally electrocuting himself while repairing a garbage disposal. His character was written off with a sudden, peaceful passing. Arthur Leslie from Coronation Street. Arthur Leslie was a British actor, best known for his role as Jack Walker on the British soap opera Coronation Street. In June 1970, only 6 days after what would become his final appearance, Leslie died of a heart attack. The writers of the series killed off his character in the same way. Pete Duel from Alias and Jones. Pete Duel is best known for his starring role as outlaw Hannibal Hayes in the American Western Alias and Jones. Sadly, at the height of the series, Duel committed suicide. His girlfriend, Diana Ray, was at his home the night of his death. She explained the two of them had watched an episode of Alias and Jones earlier in the evening. Later, she went to bed alone, but sometime after midnight, she heard Duel come into the bedroom to retrieve his revolver, and he said, "I'll see you later." She then heard the gunshot. Duel's character was taken over by Roger Davis, who had been the narrator of the series. But the show couldn't sustain the loss of Duel and was canceled shortly after. Dan Blocker from Bonanza. Dan Blocker was the actor behind the beloved character of Hoss Cartwright from the hit series Bonanza. In the long-running series, Blocker appeared as Hoss in over 400 episodes. In 1972, during the 13th season, Blocker died of a pulmonary embolism during a surgery to remove his gallbladder. The character of Hoss was killed off, though his death was only vaguely alluded to. A previous character, Candy Canaday, played by David Canary, returned to the series to complete the cast in Hoss's absence. Many believe Blocker's death led to the series' ratings dropping in 1972 and its subsequent cancellation. Roger Delgado from Doctor Who. Roger Delgado was the first actor to play the Master in the long-running British series Doctor Who. He was killed in a car crash in 1973. His character, however, never died on the show and is periodically reincarnated. The character has been portrayed by 8 different actors since Delgado's death. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. And stick around for more actors who died during production in the 70s. James Beck from Dad's Army. Dad's Army was a BBC sitcom about the British militia called the Home Guard during World War II. You might remember James Beck for his portrayal of Private Joe Walker, a Cockney spiv. During filming of the 6th season, Beck suddenly became ill with pancreatitis and was hospitalized. He died 3 weeks later. His character was written out by one of the other characters reading a letter from him, explaining he had gone to London to conduct one of his deals. The character was never mentioned again. Glenn Strange from Gunsmoke. Glenn Strange was the legendary actor who portrayed Frankenstein's monster in the 1940s classics. Later in life, he was known for playing Sam Noonan on the CBS Western Gunsmoke in the 70s. During his time on Gunsmoke, he lost his battle with lung cancer and died in 1973. His character was killed off. Patricia Cutts from Coronation Street. Patricia Cutts briefly played Blanche Hunt on Coronation Street in 1974. The role would have been her most high-profile role, but after only 2 episodes, she was found dead in her London apartment. Her death was ruled as suicide by barbiturate poisoning. The character was taken over by Maggie Jones. Barbara Colby from Phyllis. Phyllis was a spin-off of The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Barbara Colby played the role of Julie Erskine, the owner of a commercial photography studio. After filming 3 episodes, Colby was murdered. Colby and her colleague, James Kiernan, were walking to their car after an acting class in LA when they were shot in a parking lot. Colby's character was recast and Liz Torres took over the role. Graham Haberfield from Coronation Street. Graham Haberfield played Jerry Booth for 13 years on Coronation Street until he suddenly died of heart failure at the age of 33. His character was killed off in the same way. Freddie Prinze from Chico and the Man. Freddie Prinze, a stand-up comedian, actor, and father of actor Freddie Prinze Jr., was the star of the 70s show Chico and the Man. The series was about the owner of a rundown garage in an East Los Angeles barrio and his young, optimistic employee, Chico Rodriguez, played by Prince. After struggling with depression and drug abuse, Freddie Prinze shot himself in 1977 during the series' third season. Episodes filmed prior to his death aired on schedule, with an on-screen acknowledgement from the series' creator and executive producer, James Comack. He began the episode by thanking everyone for their sympathy and kindness. After the final episode Prinze had filmed aired, his absence for the rest of the season was explained by being away either on business or visiting his father. In the next season, Chico was replaced with a 12-year-old boy named Raul, played by Gabriel Melgar. Eventually, characters explained that Chico died. The ratings declined, and the series was canceled in 1978. Diana Hyland from 8 is Enough. Diana Hyland played the character Joan Bradford in the series 8 is Enough, a series about parents raising 8 children. Hyland played the mom, but only 4 episodes into the first season she fell ill. She had previously been diagnosed with breast cancer. In 1977, she died. The writers of 8 is Enough wrote her character's death into the second season, and eventually the father character falls in love and marries a different woman, played by Betty Buckley, and she replaces Hyland as the matriarch of the show. Zara Cully from the Jeffersons. Zara Cully was best known for her role as Olivia Jefferson, or Mother Jefferson, in the classic sitcom The Jeffersons. Cully died of lung cancer during the 4th season of the series in 1978. Though no special episode was created to explain her death, it was briefly addressed in the 2nd episode of the 5th season. Will Geer from the Waltons. The Waltons was an American historical drama series that took place in rural Virginia during the Great Depression. It first aired in 1972. Will Geer portrayed Grandpa Zeb Walton. In 1978, Geer died of respiratory failure during Season 6 production. The character was killed off and addressed in the Season 7 premiere. Arthur Brough on Are You Being Served? Arthur Brough was a British actor, best known for his role as the senior menswear salesman Ernest Granger in the BBC sitcom Are You Being Served? A sitcom about the misadventures of the staff of a fictional department store. Brough died in 1978. The character was written out without explanation and replaced by Mr. Tebbs, played by James Hayter. Karl Swenson from Little House on the Prairie. Swenson portrayed the character Lars Hansen. Swenson died of a heart attack shortly after filming the death of his character, the episode airing only 8 days after the actor's death. Jack Sue from Barney Miller. Barney Miller was a hit sitcom in the 70s set in a New York City police department. Jack Sue played Detective Nick Yamana. Sue was diagnosed with esophageal cancer during the 4th season. He returned for Season 5, but the cancer spread quickly and Sue died in 1979. His character was written off without a clear explanation, but later in the season, a special tribute episode in honor of Sue aired. Bob Clayton from $20,000 Pyramid. Bob Clayton was the host of the popular game show The $20,000 Pyramid. In 1979, Clayton died of cardiac arrest. Steve O'Brien, a New York disc jockey, took his place. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you remember when these actors died? What are some of your favorite shows from the 70s? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.